Bulletcast for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the Bulletcast Anthony Trevino, aka Bossman Slash, the owner and promoter of UGWA, Underground Wrestling Alliance. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. So I guess to kind of give a backstory, we first crossed paths. It was an NXT show at San Jose last year before, when people were still allowed to go to wrestling shows, and
Time.
yeah. You handed me one of your posters. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, I'm gonna check it out. And then I've just been seeing your stuff across like Twitter and Instagram. Like, I was watching the event you have on Independent Wrestling TV earlier today. The what is it?
Megalomania 5.
Megalomania 5. Yeah. You had Zicky Dice, MVP, Dutra versus Fury. It looked like a lot of fun, man. So just to kind of get a backstory about you, like, how did you get involved with this promotion? Did you start it, or what's the deal?
It started in my backyard when I was 12. We started when we were a bunch of little kids. We all, thought wrestling looked like a good time, so we all started beating each other up. The term backyard wrestling didn't even exist yet. So, like, we started doing this, didn't even know that there was, like, other kids all over, the country doing the exact same thing. And then that 2020 special came out, that all of a sudden we all realized that there was more than just us out there. And that kind of started the snowball down the hill. We started going around to all the other yard spots and recruiting people, and I just kind of kept using that same formula just on a bigger scale, So now we're doing a pro show, and it's kind of the same nuts and bolts. We just polished it up a little bit.
So, anytime a video of yours pops up, it always has like the retro VHS intro, and it says May 25th, 1996. So that's when you guys started.
Well, that's the first show we did was for my birthday party. Like, I had a sleepover, and then we had like a battle royal there, and then it just turned into a thing like, let's just keep meeting up and beating each other up on the regular, guys. So I mean that's my birthday, and that was the birth of UGWA that year, actually.
That was your 12th birthday?
Yeah.
Wow, I was 4 months old on that day. That's great. That's
we
great.
would have thrown you in the battle royal with the rest of us still. It would have been all right.
That's awesome, man. So just tell me about that time being a backyard wrestler. I mean, I've always wanted to do something like that when I was in high school, but I could never get anybody to go along with me and do it. So, did you have guys that were seriously committed? Did you have guys that were scared to take bumps? What was it like?
I fell off of wrestling after WrestleMania 10. I stopped paying attention until right about the time that UGWA started up. I found some new friends that were into wrestling, so they kind of I refound my love for it. And then the NWO came on, and that was a whole different fucking story. You know what I mean? Then, I was hooked again after the NWO, and that's really like the NWO is really what probably motivated us the most to start UGWA. We were running around, the school with our homemade UGWA shirts, like beating people up and stuff like that. Like, not really beating them up, but, like wrestling, beating people up. And, it started the spark in all of us that really started UGWA, I'd say.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So, what's your favorite backyard wrestling match?
Shit, bro. Fucking that shit broke my back and my neck. I would say my match with Dutra that I had in the yard was probably pretty good. I mean, if I went back and watched it now, it'd probably be, dog shit. But yeah, Dutra started with us back in 2000, I think. And
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when he first went pro, it was the landscape was a lot different. If you went into a pro wrestling school and they knew you were a yarder, they would shit all over you. They would tell you everything you're doing is wrong. Forget all that shit you learned in the yard. You're fucking doing it wrong. But if you went in there and they didn't know it and you were good, they'd be like, hey, this guy's a natural. You know what I mean? So there was a stigma for it back then. So we made sure that nobody knew that he came from us when he started. The the landscape for wrestling is way different now. I'd say probably yarders are pretty much running pro wrestling these days, at least indie wrestling. I mean, I'm not like active yarders, but everybody that, I mean, if you ask around any locker room, you're gonna find a lot of people that are like, yeah, I used to backyard wrestle. So it's a gateway drug to pro wrestling, you know. And now it doesn't have as much of a negative light on it, you know.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I mean, Dave Dutra, he's been on the show before. When I first started going to the APW garage, he was one of the first guys I saw, and I was drawn to him. Just awesome in the ring, and his matches at UGWA against was it Matt Fury for the San Jose title? Those are badass.
Those are great matches. We got Urban Legends is coming up next, which we're going to be putting out on IWTV within the month. It'll be out sometime in September. But we got Dutra versus Sledge versus Stephen Bonner on that one. That'll be a fun match.
I just discovered Stephen Bonner last night watching him versus Dutra. Yeah, dude. I was like, this guy's a UFC Hall of Famer. I found out he was in Impact and all this other stuff. I'm like, this dude is great.
Like, no, he's as much of a legend as he is in MMA. He's still pretty green in pro wrestling. He's only got maybe like a year or two in, really. And I think you'll see his best work, I think, to date might have been in UGWA. I mean, he's had some matches since then, so I'm sure he's had something better. But once he came to UGWA, his best matches to date were in UGWA. He had some phenomenal matches with Dutra here.
I can't wait to see the rest of them, man. That's awesome. So I wanna get into, you know, when did you start actually running like pro shows and the cost of buildings? Because as fans, we don't know how important it is for the gate to draw more money so that guys can get paid and stuff like that. You know, I want to really get into the logistics of that.
Well, I would say on paper we've been running pro shows since maybe 2015. Okay,
so 5 years. 5 years.
I would say we've been running pro shows probably since 2010. Even though those first 5 were yard shows, but they were ran like pro shows. We had like 200 people back here. We were charging admission. We had T-shirts we were selling at the door. I actually made more money off of the yard shows back in the day because I didn't have a venue to pay for it, you know. But so you just got to take a lot of those costs into consideration when you're booking, and just try to make sure you make more money than you spend at the end of the day, you know. But pro wrestling's a whole different can of worms, though, man. Like, there's so much more politics and stress and things like that are involved, and you get a lot more people that want to see you fail, I guess, when you reach the pro wrestling level.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. So, wait, you guys run from the Ritz in San Jose. That's where all of your shows are based out of. And so,
That's
like,
home.
what'd you say?
That's our home base.
I love it, dude. So what's the cost of that? Like running the Ritz? You know, I know you have to pay like a rental fee, and if anything's damaged and all that other stuff.
I don't want to get too much into what we spend with them and stuff like that. Well, we got a pretty good deal worked out with them. They believe in the cause, and we basically we got a deal based off of attendance, so we just kind of split that. But yeah, dude. I got a pretty good deal. I got a sweet deal with that spot. I don't really want to talk about the money with them though. I might get heat with the owner.
Oh no worries, dude. No worries, dude. Absolutely. So about how, like, what's the average crowd that you guys draw?
When we started at the Ritz, the first show we had was 150. Then we kind of dipped down to about 100 for a couple years there, and I'd say about end of 2018 we did about 200 people, and then throughout 2019 we maintained about 250. I think the last show, and then this year we managed to pull off 2 shows. The first show was Rumble at the Ritz 4. I think we did 260, something like that. So that was the biggest attendance we've done. That one we had Matt Justice on the show. We had Joey Ryan on the show. But yeah, that one did pretty good. The next show after that, I think we did 200, but that one's our deathmatch show, so I expected like a dip a little bit because not everybody's into that shit, you know. But yeah, then the world shut down, so we were on the upswing when it shut down. So this year we were planning to do 10 shows. from 6 shows, which we've previously been doing 6 shows every year. We're gonna do 10 shows this year at the Ritz. Um, oh well, man, shit happens. But the silver lining to all of this is that it gave us the time to go into our library and start editing all this footage we had. If this pandemic didn't happen, we would just be collecting more footage, like having live shows, collecting footage that nobody ever sees, just like everybody else in NorCal. So thankfully, this gave us the chance to go into our library and start editing stuff. So now maybe the rest of the world can see what NorCal's got to offer.
Absolutely, man. Because there's just such a wealth of talent here in NorCal. Like if you touch base in like APW, look at all the guys that have skyrocketed from there, like a Carl Fredericks or a Jacob Fatu or Jungle Boy and stuff like that. And then you have West Coast Pro, which I think I saw you at that show earlier this year. It was like one of the
West Coast Pro's the shit, bro. They're as far as I'm concerned, they swooped in here and they're the top of the food chain now. And I'm just trying to be on their level. You know what I mean? Like Scott's the man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the one show they ran this year, that was the first time I've ever been to that promotion. I didn't go as a broadcaster or a journalist, I just went as a fan. The aesthetic was really cool. I loved it. And yeah, so I mean, there's APW, there's West Coast Pro. I see East Bay Pro's picking up a little bit of steam, and then you have your people that still do like big time. What'd you say?
East Bay's still doing shows.
No, no, no. I said they're like picking up steam, like more notoriety.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like that's what blows me away is that they're still doing shows right now. Dude.
Are they really?
Yeah, dude.
With like fans in attendance?
I don't know if there's any fans. I think it's just wrestlers.
Okay.
They're still having matches and recording them and stuff. So I mean, they might have some content coming soon too. Who knows?
Okay, all right. And then what is it? You still have your people that do like big time wrestling, but your promotion's coming on the up and up. And I mean, I'm watching the product. I mean, the aesthetic is it's like Hood Slam standing room only, but the production, in my opinion, is way better. I know you got Kevin Gill on the call. I know you're on the call, and yeah, man, it just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, I like to say it's like if Fight Club and Rocky Horror Picture Show had a baby.
Absolutely, dude. That's basically what it is. The fans seem like they're having fun. The wrestlers seem like they're having fun. I love that. Now, I want to talk about the championships that you have in this promotion because I mean they are some of the most badass titles that I've ever seen. I mean, I know you redid the San Jose Championship. Am I correct?
We got a brand new UGWA Championship, which is our Cobra logo. We got the San Jose Championship, which is our shark logo, basically on a belt. We took our old school demon logo that we had that kind of looks like the Danzig logo, and we've made tag belts out of that. So those are coming soon. The concept with that, I don't really like belts that just look like it seems like everybody kind of used that like winged eagle, world in the middle aesthetic belt, for years and years. Everybody's trying to make their belt look like that, and it's like I just figure like we got a brand. We want people to know. We want people to recognize our symbolism. Why don't we put that front and center on our championships? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've been working with the homie West Coast Design.
He's the best, man, dude. With his flyers, his belts, fucking everything, man. I got a box full of replica foam UGWA titles right now that we were supposed to sell at our show that we had to cancel in March. So if anybody wants a replica belt for $30, let me know. You can be the UGWA champion too.
Yeah, dude, he's the best. He's making us a belt for the show right now. We're getting a new one, and it looks pretty badass. I can't wait to reveal that to the people, dude.
That's rad, dude. I can't wait to see that, dude. Everything that he makes is money. Like I think he did a West Coast Pro belt, I think, as well, and that belt's cherry. I love that belt too. Like as far as classic belt styles, that one kind of gives me like a boxer, like a prize fighter belt feel,
Yeah, like a WBC type vibe.
I
feel it, absolutely. So, I mean, you have the UGWA Championship, you have the San Jose title, you guys have a Deathmatch Championship, am I correct?
We call that the Total Violence Championship. That actually started as a joke because we were joking. We're like, why do all these promotions that don't have TV shows have TV titles? You know what I mean? Like, I always thought that was funny. Like, just like world titles that get defended in the same spot, and never, nobody will come to it. So I just thought stuff like that was weird. So I was like, well, what if we had a TV title, but it stood for something else besides TV? And then that's when we came up with, well, what if it was Total Violence? And well, what if it was our deathmatch belt? I was like, sold. All right, Total Violence. That's our deathmatch belt. So it's technically our TV title.
There you go, man. I know you guys are on hold because of the pandemic, but just to kind of let people know, who are your current champions?
The current UGWA championship is actually it's split. We have an interim champion, which is Lisa Lace, and we have the UGWA champion, which is Super Beast. They were supposed to meet in March so we could figure out who's the real champ. But shit happens. San Jose champion right now is Titus Alexander. It was vacated, and he beat Funny Bone and Zicky Dice in a triple threat for it. The Total Violence Championship, we actually have Total Violence and Beast of the East, which are kind of like merged now. It's our old yard deathmatch title and our old and the new Total Violence one, and the champ is Sin, but he only has one of the belts because Guido took the Total Violence belt to Australia.
Wow. So Sin's basically like the undisputed deathmatch champion, so to speak.
Pretty much, yeah, but he's only got half his belt. I think he's swim out there to Australia and get his other one back from Guido's team.
That's awesome, man. You said you're having tag team championships made.
Yep.
They're on the way.
Yeah, we also have our tag champs are Lockjaw and KP. We call them the Lock and Cock Connection. You'll notice we have a lot of references to dildos and penises and things like that in our show. I blame KP for that 100%. If you've never experienced KP before, that's not a gimmick. That is KP 100% of the time. He is he's something to behold. He's a national treasure here in San Jose.
That's awesome, dude. I love it. I love it. So you guys recently just got on Independent Wrestling TV, Megalomania 5, which took place June 9th of 2019. You had Zicky Dice versus your interim UGWA champion.
That was her debut at the time, though. She wasn't champ yet. She just won that in January of this year. But yeah, that was both their debuts. That was a good match. MVP got in the mix.
That's awesome. I was watching it. He did the whole ball and elbow and everything, and then he stayed on commentary for like a match or two. So, is there a certain process to get on Independent Wrestling TV, or do you just say, "Hey, I'm a promotion. Here's a show"?
Well, that's kind of how we did it. I'm not sure how other folks do it. I heard there was a little interest in us through the grapevine. We didn't have anything for them, though. Then I talked to Scott from West Coast Pro, and we were like talking about doing business, but it was like, well, I mean, what's the point of like doing a merger, or not a merger, but like a co-promoted show or whatever, if nobody knows who we are, and he's the only one that's on there. So we were like, all right, let's put that on hold. Let me see if I can figure out something. So we started editing some stuff, and then I hit up KG. I was like, hey, we got a finished show. Can you let them see it and see what they think? I guess they got like 5 minutes in, and they're like, "Yep, we want it." So here we are.
That's what's up, dude. So, I mean, Kevin Gill, I know he does commentary, but does he do anything else like behind the scenes for the company?
Technically, he's just our commentator, but behind the scenes, really, I mean, that he's taught me so much, man. Like as far as coming out of the yard and being just a little marky yard tard, and then doing this, and then he's been the one that's kind of guided me towards what it's going to take to be successful in professional wrestling. You know what I mean? He's almost like my Yoda, my Yoda that's like a foot taller than me.
Okay, but, not Baby Yoda, but regular Yoda.
Well, it's like maybe like 4 Yodas on each other's shoulders.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, man. So since the whole pandemic's been going on, everybody's had time to kind of sit back and think about, when we start shows up again, we're going to do this and that. Have you had time to do that? And if so, can you give us a little teaser about what we could see once shows start coming back?
Well, when this started, I was real rebellious against it. I almost did a guerrilla show in my backyard. I had everybody booked for it. And then just at the last minute, I was like, you know what? This is fucking stupid. I don't want to get anybody sick over this. It's not worth it. We ain't gonna make no money off of this. I'm just doing this just to be a mark ass, like just to have, just to do it, just to be rebellious. And I was like, all right, we're not gonna do it. So I canceled it. And then I made a conscious effort because it was depressing me. Because like to me, like I can't help but to book wrestling. Like I just it's go runs through my head 24/7. Like that's like I had UGWA booked basically. I had the entire year booked pretty much. You know what I mean? In October of last year. So that's how far ahead I think of stuff. But like I basically had to throw all that stuff away, and it's just really depressing to like try to like think of like stuff for the future. So I switched gears, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go backwards in time now, and my focus is now on getting as much content for IWTV as possible to get us out there. You know what I mean? And when we get the green light to do a show, I'll switch back on right then. But I mean, I don't even know who I would have on the show or what would be happening when we come back. Hopefully, I have the same roster. I would try to if you go to like the UGWA page, we still have all the promotional art from Megalomania 6 that never happened. Uh, I would like to have that first show back be as close to that as possible. We had Chris Bay versus Zicky Dice booked for that show. We had Juicy Finau was going to debut with us that show. We had Stephen Bonner coming back that show. That show was going to be the biggest UGWA show of all time. It was going to be huge. But I would love to have that show in some capacity, maybe. You know.
Absolutely, man. I mean, so we've seen with indie shows around the world, preferably GCW, they're running outside. So, do you think that's something you're interested in doing? Coming from a
Yeah,
backyard background?
if we could figure out a way to make it safe and profitable and found a good lot of land or whatnot, then I would be down to try something like that out. But I went out there to Jersey for backyard wrestling too. So I was there, and they do a great job of social distancing. Everybody's got their masks on, but even then, I was still kind of nervous. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a weird time. So I don't know, man. I want to make sure that everybody's going to be safe if we're going to do as safe as you can be at a show where people are having death matches and there's glass flying everywhere. I want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah, or maybe even like a drive-in thing. That's probably the safest way you could do it. Everybody's like in their car.
There is a Capital Drive-in here in San Jose. It would be shaped perfectly for something like that. Maybe I can hit them up and see what's going on. But
Maybe.
yeah, man. I mean, I would love to be able to do shows again. That would be great, but it's got to be profitable. It can't be something where I can only invite like 50 people. It's got to be like I gotta shoot for the stars and get like 250 at least in there.
Absolutely, man. I respect that. I respect that grind. So, just like, how have you been during this whole thing, man? How's your mental doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thankfully, my day job is selling pot, so legally selling pot. So I'm essential. So I haven't missed any work. You know, I'm heading there right after this, as a matter of fact. But yeah, dude. Thankfully that's kept me afloat. You know, it keeps me busy. You know, now I found this my new calling, getting all these shows put out and everything. And it's and when I say me, I'm more of like the Steve Jobs of it, where I'm just saying what I want. The real person behind all those beautiful videos you see, all that shit. The editing, that's Henry Slasher. That's the other Slash in UGWA. That man is a godsend, and he is the best there is at what he does. Like, there's nobody better than Henry Slasher at editing wrestling. Jose Portillo's our head camera guy. He started UGWA with me back in '96. He got concussed out of the ring, but if he didn't, he'd probably be out there. He's just as good as Dutra is in the ring, but he's channeled that into being a cameraman. Then we got Eric Peterson, who does our lighting, does our online promotion. He's fucking one of the heads of the Hydra, and then I'd say KG. So like between the five of us, that's basically the people that make UGWA as pretty and awesome as it is. So I can't say it's just me. It's got to be I got to give those guys all props.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It takes it takes a team to make the dream work. Absolutely, man. So with everything that's going on, especially here in California, uh, next year would be the 25-year anniversary of UGWA. Do you think a big 25-year anniversary show could possibly happen. That's
Uh, that was a plan, man. So I mean, hopefully, maybe that'll be the first show back. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know, I really don't think we're gonna be able to do a show until probably like mid next year anyway. So the timing might be perfect. Sorry, my cat's trying to eat my waffle over there. Stay away from my waffle, cat. There we go. But so yeah, I'm thinking, hopefully by May of 2021 we can rise from the ashes.
yeah, man. I mean, it's given everybody time to kind of rebrand and think of new ideas for when shows do come back. Cause I miss it, man. Just watching UGWA earlier today and watching like West Coast Pro and all this other stuff. Like, I miss being in that environment so much. I really do, man.
Me too.
There's
My wife,
nothing like it.
you know, it's who knew that like something like this would come along where it kills like live shows. You know what I mean? Like I would have stuck to making comic books if I knew that. Can't shut that down.
No, you can't. You can't. All right. As we wind down, couple rapid fire favorite questions. So,
All right. Do it.
favorite show you've ever booked?
Favorite show I've ever booked. Um, I'm gonna say Devil's Night 2012. It was in the yard back here at my house. That was the first show that I realized that we could break out of where we were, and we were probably better than about half the indie spots in NorCal. And that something sparked that night in everybody, where we just kind of just like, you know what, like let's do this shit. You know what I mean? And that's really when the ball started rolling towards where we're at now. So I would say that's probably my favorite show.
All right. Your favorite wrestler of all time?
Eddie Guerrero.
All right.
Oh,
You have a favorite Eddie match?
favorite Eddie match. Ah, fuck. Let me think. That's a good question, man. Um, all of them, maybe. No, I would say probably. I really dig his match with fucking Kurt Angle at WrestleMania just because he won by cheating with the boot thing. That was like genius. So I really like that match. Off top, that's probably my favorite. But if
Yeah.
I thought harder, I'd probably have another match. But
Normally, I hear like when he won the title out here at the Cow Palace or like Halloween Havoc.
yeah, fucking when he beat fucking Brock. What the fuck am I thinking?
Were you there?
Dude, I got grounded and my dad didn't let me go to the show.
Wow.
Wait, timing wise, did I get grounded? Something happened. I remember there was a show where I got grounded. I couldn't go. I might have been too old to get grounded by the time that happened. Actually, I don't remember, but something happened where I couldn't go. But I had tickets and I didn't go.
Oh
And I
man.
regretted it.
Oh man. All right. Favorite tag team of all time?
Favorite tag team of all time? Fuck. Demolition. I love their entrance music.
Okay, for sure, for sure. And last up, favorite match of all time?
Favorite match of all time? Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Iron Man match, '96, because that was also part of what launched UGWA. Because what the first backyard wrestling match I had was with our cameraman Iron Man, and it wasn't really a match. We basically just watched that match over and over, memorized like the first half of it, and then just redid that first, like all the chain shit that they were doing, like at the beginning. We just memorized it and did that.
You know what's funny? My co-host thinks that match is overrated.
Really?
Yes.
12-year-old me got inspired to fucking start a backyard wrestling organization that turned into this crazy shit. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean that was the first match where it caught my attention. I watched a whole match for an hour. It's still unbelievable.
yeah.
Brett or Sean though?
Um, you know, attitude wise, I'd say I've always been more of a Sean guy, but wrestling wise, I've always been more of a Brett guy.
We're
But
Sean.
if you really press me, I'm gonna say Owen.
Oh, okay. That's different. I've never heard anybody throw that one out there. How'd you like his episode of Dark Side of the Ring?
Made me sad.
Yeah, yeah. Just it's a shame he'll never be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he's in other Hall of Fame, so it's
But I totally understand why she wouldn't let it. You know what I mean? If I was her, I'd say fuck them too. You know what I mean?
no, yeah, absolutely, man. And then she had the actual clip that was holding him when it's such a sad story. It is. It's heartbreaking, man. Unbelievable. Well, I think that's gonna
Yeah,
do it.
Owen's a very close second to Eddie
Okay,
as far as
okay. Like on your top 10 list going down. All right.
yeah.
You know, maybe we'll have to have you back on, and you can give us your top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time.
Down, brother. This is fun.
Absolutely,
Anytime.
absolutely, man. So, just where can the people find you, and where can they find UGWA?
We're on all your major, social media platforms. Official UGWA on Twitter. Hail UGWA on Instagram. We got a Facebook page for all you old folks out there. YouTube. There's some matches on there. A lot of the YouTube stuff is gonna get like recut. And re-released on IWTV, within the next few shows and stuff like that. So if you want a preview of what to expect in the future, you can catch some matches on YouTube in the meantime. But we do plan to start shooting out. We got Urban Legends coming on this month, and then probably around October we'll be having last year's Devil's Night, which was our Halloween show, and then we got a bunch of documentaries we've been working on too, so we'll be putting those all on IWTV as well. We had a documentary team following us for like 10 years, so now's the time.
Oh wow, that's what's up, dude. Kind of like some Beyond the Mat shit.
A little bit, yeah.
I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to get to an UGWA show whenever shows happen again, man. I've never been, and I'm excited to go, dude. I really am.
Let me know, man. I'll throw you on the guest list, brother.
Oh wow! Hey, I love it. I love it. I appreciate all the work you've been doing, man. I've been seeing your hustle. It's motivating. There's such a collection of talented people here in the Bay Area that love pro wrestling and work in pro wrestling, and you're one of them, man.
Well, I mean, live pro wrestling might be shut down, but everybody's got a library of tapes. Everybody's got cameras at their shows. I'm calling out all the other promoters right now. I'm boys with a lot of them. But do something with your fucking footage. Put it out there, man. You guys got better footage than me, maybe. So like who wouldn't love to see like the last like 5 or 6 years of like APW like put into TV shows on IWTV? You know what I mean?
That would be awesome. I would love to see it.
That would be fucking cherry, bro. And I'm hoping that's who I was directed at. I love APW. I used to camera for them back in the day. So I love APW. I want to see the world see APW the way that I see it. You know what I mean? That's the real heart of the Bay Area wrestling scene right there. So
absolutely.
But let's all come up together.
Absolutely, dude. Anthony, thank you so much for your time, brother, and hope all is well, and can't wait to see you guys run shows again.
HAILUGWA!
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.